Welcome to All Things Missouri. My name is Jamie Kleinsorge. I'm from the Center for Applied Research and Engagement Systems, also known as CARES, at the University of Missouri Extension. I'm excited to be with you today to share our platform, allthingsmissouri.org. We're going to be exploring the Missouri Map Room, the Economic Snapshot Report, and our newly released Workforce Development section. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let's find the Missouri Map Room. There are two ways to navigate to the map room. The first one is using this menu in the top left-hand corner. You'll notice that the Missouri Map Room is the first option available. Alternatively, you can click the Maps button on the home page and it'll take you down to our map slider. The Missouri Map Room is the first option, but we also have a map gallery and some other starter maps that I would encourage you to take a look at. Once you enter the Missouri Map Room, you'll be able to search over 25,000 data layers that we have available within our engine. You can search by keyword, you can browse by topic, or you can browse by source. Let's start by searching by keyword. For example, I typed in the word bridge. You'll see here that we have one layer related to bridges from the National Transportation Atlas from 2014. If I would like more information about this data layer or any other that's available within our engine, I can simply hover over it and you'll notice this little I button illuminates. If I click that I button, it gives me the data description, the release date, and a link back to the original source. To add these data to my map, I simply click the checkbox next to the layer that I'm interested in, and then click the Add to Map button at the bottom. Before doing that though, I would like to point out that we have a couple of filters here on the left-hand side. First, you can see national, state, or regional data that we have available. You can also sort by data geography. So if you're looking for data that are available, let's say at the census tract or zip code, you can filter by just those that are available. All right, let's add bridges to our map. This is an example of a data set that you would either need to zoom in or zoom out to view. You can do that in one of two ways. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice the plus and minus buttons. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus button a couple times to zoom in to be able to view the bridges across Missouri. You'll see here now we see a variety of colored squares that correspond to the legend of bridges from the National Transportation Atlas here on the right-hand side. If I'd like to go to another location, I can enter the location here in this bar at the top on the right. For example, I'm going to type in Kirksville, Missouri. It's going to take me right into the Kirksville area, and I'm able to see more closely those bridges that reside within Kirksville or those that reside within Adair County. I'd like to point out our reference maps at this time. Over here on the right-hand side, just above our legend, you'll notice there's a little hamburger menu. By clicking it, I now have access to things like place names, highways, county boundaries, and place boundaries. If you're looking to label the county boundaries, simply click the label button on the county boundaries layer. I can also add additional layers at this time. I can add those data by clicking the Add Data button up here on the left-hand side. For example, if I wanted to add commuter data, I'm going to search the word commuter, and you'll see here that we have 4 results. This first one looks like a great one to add. It's from a local Missouri source. Now you'll see that I have both commuters and bridges available here on my map. At this time, I think I'm going to select a different base layer. Our base layers are available here in this square within some squares. I'm going to choose the dark gray canvas, but we also have maps related to topography, terrain, and those with imagery available. Now I can see the commuter lines, the bridges, and I have a dark background. At this time, I would encourage you to explore the data on the map. For example, I'm going to zoom back in and I can click on any of these squares to learn more about the bridge it's associated with. For example, this bridge was constructed in 1995. Clicking on some others, you can see here, this one was constructed in 1925. Both of the bridges that I clicked were state highway bridges represented in that dark orange color. We have others though, including county highway, city street, and interstate. Now that I've completed this map, I may want to share it or save it for others. I can do so very easily. Up here in the right-hand corner, there's a quick share button that allows you to share this interactive map via Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or email. I can also export this map as either a PDF document or an image file. This makes it easy to drop these maps into things like PowerPoint presentations, grant applications, or other documents. If at any time you'd like to start over, you can click this Clear Map button, and it'll clear all the data that you've added to your map. Additionally, we have some advanced tools that are available to you. You can query the data. So for example, if you wanted to find only those bridges built after or in the 1980s, you could do that query. You could select the data within a specific geography. You can measure between bridges, for example, draw graphics, or hide surrounding areas. If at any time you need help with the map room, feel free to click the help button up here in the right-hand corner, or you can reach out to us through the support link at the bottom of every page. Let's go back to the home page and find the economic snapshot. Under our Tools and Resources section, you'll find a tool gallery. And within the tool gallery, we have lots of tools. The one that we're going to focus on today is going to be the economic snapshot. It's about 4 or 5 rows down. This economic snapshot shows a small number of indicators for counties across Missouri all the way back to 1969. The first step in creating an economic snapshot report is defining your geography. You can select one or more counties from this list. For demonstration purposes today, I'm going to select Boone and Callaway. Additionally, you can also choose pre-aggregated extension regions. The next step is to select my data indicators. Here you can see we can select just those historic indicators. We can also select those that started in 2007. We can select an entire category of indicators, or we can select just individual indicators within the category. Much like the map room, you'll notice as I hover over each of these data sets, a little eye button illuminates, and I'm able to see more information about the data when I click that button. I'm going to go ahead and select all indicators for demonstration purposes. The next step is to click the Reports button. Our system's going to automatically generate a nice economic snapshot for the counties that you've selected. Here, it reminds us of our location, both Boone and Callaway counties in Missouri. The first indicator that we see is part of the historic snapshot starting in 1969, and we're looking at population change. The sentence under the indicator name is going to tell you a little bit about the indicator in context of the geography that you've selected. There's also a data table available that aggregates the report location and then shows breakouts for each county, both Boone and Callaway, benchmarks for the state of Missouri and for the United States. If you would like to get back to the original source or get more data details, there are links just below the data table to help you with that. Additionally, when we're able to provide a map of these data, we'll do so, and you can view the larger map in our map room. We've also have trends over time, and these data visualizations are interactive. So for example, if I wanted to compare my report location just to the state of Missouri, I could turn off the other geographies and be able to do a quick comparison between my report location and the state. To quickly jump between indicators, I can use this hamburger button here at the bottom right. You'll see that it lists all of the indicators that I have available within my report, and I'm able to jump between them quickly. For example, this shows us employment change from 2007 to 2018. Again, we're provided with a STEM sentence that gives us a little bit of background information about the indicator itself, a data table that aggregates the two counties together into the report location, individual values for each county selected, and benchmarks for the state and the United States. We also have the inset map and the trends over time. Once you've completed your report, you can download it in a couple of ways. First, you can download it as a PDF file. You can also get the raw data in an Excel table. There are additional options like turning off the maps or just showing the quick facts data tables. And much like our map, you can also share these very easily via social media, via the short link, or email. Lastly, there is a nice print button that makes it easy to print this report. Finally, we're going to look at the workforce development section on All Things Missouri. The last part of this presentation will explore the workforce development section on All Things Missouri. We can access the workforce development resources simply by clicking this nice big workforce development button on the homepage. You'll see here that we have things like our workforce development story map, an engagement resource guide, and an overview of Missouri's workforce system. Additionally, we have links to other resources, that economic snapshot, and a link to our broadband access story map. Continuing to scroll down, you'll notice that we have a series of starter maps available that answer critical questions related to workforce development. For example, how engaged is the labor force in my region? Do workers in my area have access to childcare services? And are there affordable housing options for workers in my area? By clicking any of these links, it will open the map and you can explore your community, county, or region more closely. Let's go back up though to the workforce development story map and take a deeper dive there. This story map looks at 4 major factors driving workforce development across the state of Missouri: population change, commuting trends, workforce training, and skills mismatch. This first map shows us both labor force participation change and percent population change for a 5-year period between 2013 and 2018. To use this map, I simply swipe this gray bar from left to right to be able to see each layer. This first layer is labor force participation. Areas in teal show an increase in participation and areas in pink show a decrease. Similarly, I can swipe over to the percent population change map. Areas in blue show an increase of population, while areas in red show a decrease. The next factor that we looked at was commuting. You can see here that the yellow lines show Missouri resident travel patterns, while the purple lines show out-of-state resident travel patterns. We can view into an area to see more closely simply by double-clicking on the map, or we can use the plus and minus buttons here at the bottom right. If I would like to get more information about a specific county, I can select a county up here in the top right-hand corner. For example, let's look at Cape Girardeau. Here we can see that there's about 36,000 total commuters in this area. About 23,000 of them live and work in Cape Girardeau. Alternatively, we have about 13,000 that live in Cape Girardeau County, but they work elsewhere. And we have some folks that are commuting into Cape Girardeau County, about 16,000. To see the net change on any given day, you can view the net change map by clicking the tab at the bottom of the commuter line map. We can see here now that Cape Girardeau gains about 3,600 commuters per day, whereas the counties around it lose anywhere from 200 to 2,000 commuters per day. The next factor that we looked at was workforce training. Workforce development relies on distributed pathways to opportunity. Therefore, we need many actors providing many opportunities across the state. This map shows assets across the state, including area career centers, chambers of commerce, and community college service areas. You can click on any of these dots or areas to get more information. Additionally, over on the left-hand side, you can also add Missouri Job Centers, ACT Work-Ready Communities, and higher education facilities to the map to see a full picture of the workforce development landscape. Finally, we looked at skills mismatch. Skills mismatch can be defined in two ways. First, it's when a sector has more jobs than workers. Alternatively, it's when a sector has more workers than jobs. We can see that here across the 9 sectors we've highlighted in this story map. Counties shaded in green have more jobs than workers. We're seeing that here in healthcare, business and sales, and science and technology. Counties shaded in yellow and orange have more workers seeking jobs than jobs in that selected sector. We start to see that as we look at transportation, food services, management, and construction. To explore the sectors, simply click the arrows at the bottom of the map, and you'll notice that the sector changes. This is the final part of our presentation, so I'm going to go back to the home page of All Things Missouri just to show you a few last features. First and foremost, I would like to point out at the bottom of every page, you'll be able to find my email as well as a support contact. If you have any questions or need any additional information, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. If you're ever wondering what we're up to, what new data we have, or data updates that we've made, the News and Events button is a great place to go. Here you can see our What's New list, get updates on webinars and other events, and see new data. I thank you for your time and attention during this presentation and wish you the best of conferences. Thank you.